Are you a woman who may be struggling with symptoms like PCOS, endometriosis, or even fibroids? Well, today I am joined by hormonal health coach Yasmine Loy as we discuss why she signed up to be part of the ToK Like a Boss boot camp, and also to answer some questions that you may have so that you, if you have some of these symptoms, you no longer suffer in silence. Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my lovely guest and bring Yasmine onto the stage. Hello, Yasmine. Good afternoon. It is afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good,
How are you
good.
today?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you. I think this is a really, really good conversation to discuss, obviously, a little bit about you, what it is that you do. And then we're going to chew the fat around all things ToK Like a Boss. But we're also going to talk about some things around TikTok and if this platform is a serious contender for business owners. Now, before I do that, Yasmine, I'm going to just check, just make sure that we are live in the right place, because you know what? Facebook, we are streaming this across Facebook. We're also doing this on YouTube. So if there are those of you watching us on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, we are streaming across the three platforms. So do say hello. Do say hi. I think we are good. I think we are cooking with gas. All right, good stuff. Yes, I can see that we all are live and everything is good. So Yasmine, are you ready for me? You know, I'll come to take you to school, church. We are, Miss Yasmine.
Are you I'm ready? As ready as I will ever be.
All right, so I like to start with making the focus a little bit about you. So Yasmine, please do tell us, and Yasmine, you did talk like a boss show. I had to remind somebody about the old pair intro. So Yasmine, please do tell us who you are, what you do. Yeah, just share a little bit about who you are and what you do. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Hello, my name is Yasmine Loy, and I am a hormonal health coach, and I specialize in helping women with hormonal health conditions, in particular PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. So I myself am a sufferer of PCOS, and I wanted to create a community of women that also suffer with PCOS as well. It is a condition, lifelong condition, and there's so many mixed messages out there, whether it can be cured, whether you can heal it, and you basically can't. It's a lifelong condition, but holistic health lifestyle changes do have a big impact on how you can minimize your PCOS symptoms. And I just wanted to reach out and get that out there to those women.
Yes, I love that. And I myself, as somebody, I don't like to say sufferer because we don't suffer out here, but I am somebody who has fibroids. And it's so funny because I discovered that I had fibroids. I had no symptoms, but the one thing that was wrong for me was that I'm a long distance runner. And I would go out for my long runs. And before I'd, go for my run, I'd make sure that I've emptied my bowel, so I'm all good. Sorry to be a bit graphic, but make sure I've gone to the bathroom because I'm going on a long run. And what I started to notice was that immediately, Yasmine, I'd go out within the first minute, I'd feel like I was bursting to go to the toilet. And I thought, something's not quite right here. So I went and got it checked out and discovered that I myself have a uterine fibroid. And it's something that is really common. But I think that from what I'm kind of seeing, being in the communities and wider communities on social media, being a part of specific groups around women's health, around these specific topics, is that there's not a lot of knowledge around it. And I think what happens is that a lot of women do suffer in silence because they think, as women, we have our monthly cycle. We by default, we suffer, because of period pains or whatever not. So I think that what happens is a lot of women have symptoms and just kind of deal with it and think, well, this is normal. Is this something that you would say is the norm around those that don't have the awareness or around PCOS, endometriosis and fibroids, etc.?
It is definitely the norm that we're starting to see now, especially because it's harder to get a diagnosis. A lot of the symptoms that women are experiencing these days is passed off as it's normal. It's normal to have heavy periods. It's normal to be in pain every month. It's becoming the norm, but it isn't normal. And it is really hard to get a doctor, a health practitioner to go further, go deeper, and to find what's actually wrong. And some of the hormonal conditions that you may have cannot be diagnosed as simply as with a scan. Sometimes it depends on the time that you have these scans before they can even show up. So women are not being heard, and that's why these communities need to be out there for the support for women.
Yes, absolutely. And so that leads us into how we have come to work together. You signed up for the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp. So you were part of cohort 2, and it was absolutely lovely working with you. So why did you sign up for the bootcamp? What was the reason why you decided to embark upon ToK Like a Boss?
Well, the first thing is so I could speak to people like this. I mean, just doing the 4-week course, if you had said to me at the beginning of the course, we're going to have a talk afterwards, I would be like, no way. But I had joined the cohort, the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp, because I really wanted to move my business forward. And I knew that in today's world that we're in, people do go to social media, but there was no way for me to know how to use TikTok. TikTok is a platform that I use myself. Watch other people, but I just couldn't do it for me. And that's one of the reasons why I joined the bootcamp. It was just to help me get the right strategies in place and to gain my confidence to be able to go live or even show up with posts or stories on my page.
Well, I am so glad that you signed up, because you are showing up and your confidence is starting to really come through. Now, I've said this before, when it comes to these lives, Yasmine, I like to go a little bit off pace, darling. So you said that you wanted to take your business forward. So essentially, why TikTok? Because a lot of serious business owners, we are serious business owners out here, but there's a lot of conversation around TikTok. My idle clients are not on the platform. It's not for me. It's not a platform for serious business owners. And I submit to those who are watching, and I'm going to let you kind of share your perspective and your experience, that actually is not the case. TikTok is actually a serious platform for business owners. It is now a search engine, and your idle clients are there. So, Yasmine, in terms of TikTok, because you've made the choice to kind of move your business forward and build a community on TikTok, why did you decide on TikTok specifically? And obviously leaning into this whole thing around whether or not TikTok is a platform for serious business owners. Can you talk a little bit about that? Thank you.
Well, I use TikTok not as a platform for business at first, but I was a viewer. And one of the things that I absolutely loved is if you just go to live, you can just, so many different lives come up. If you search in toilet roll, you can get that on TikTok. I mean, you can literally search anything. It's better than Google, and people come up. You have professionals on there, you've got doctors, you've got surgeons, and then you've got people that are at home looking after their children and sharing their stories and their lives with us. There's so much to learn on TikTok, and to say that you can't find your ideal client, your community, your niche on there is not true. You can find absolutely anybody doing anything on TikTok.
Yes, absolutely. And we had that experience yesterday, didn't we? Because again, I definitely want to encourage you, as I encourage others that are watching, that your idle clients 100% are there. And we had that experience yesterday. So we're going to be working together one-to-one on ToK Mastery. And so I reached out to you yesterday because I've discovered, and you obviously are now following her, a doctor who specializes in hormonal and women's health. And Yasmine, what happened when we went onto that live yesterday?
Well, that live just blew up. She was doing a topic on fibroids, but we had women in that live with all different hormonal health conditions, and it wasn't something that she was covering that day, but the questions that were being fired were from women from all over, dealing with pain, dealing with how to get a diagnosis, even how do they even know if they've got this hormonal health condition. So there's definitely leverage out there with any sort of live that you go into, and you make friends. So I was on the live, I was asking questions, I was talking to some of the other ladies on there, and what you find is it is hard to jump in and make and start off, but once you start getting into it, you do make connections, you do make friends on the platform as well, just by talking within the comments.
Absolutely. And again, this is an example from looking at this specific doctor who specializes in hormonal health. She had 600 plus people on the live stream, lots of women, like you've mentioned, with so many different conditions, from, like you said, trying to get a diagnosis, understanding whether or not they should go for myomectomy or going for a hysterectomy, what is involved. There were so many different conversations and questions that were coming out of that. And so the reason why I want to lean into this for a moment is a demonstration that your ideal clients are there. We found it in the doctors in her live stream, 600 plus women that were there. And there were so many different, sides of the coin in terms of different conditions. So again, we're going to say that if you don't think your ideal clients are on TikTok, they absolutely are, because your ideal clients are 100% there. We found them within this doctor's audience, and you were able to make your connections, and also you were able to share your perspectives and your expertise as well as you were responding to comments. So it's 100% a platform for serious business owners, right? Would you say so, Yasmine?
No, 100%. I mean, if you just give it a chance, just open up the app, you can just see there's hundreds of thousands of, I would even say millions of businesses on there. And it's not the big business names that we may see on the high streets or that we may know. It's individual small businesses that are on there, and they are able to make their mark, and you're able to see them and hear them on that platform, because it's a platform for everybody.
Yes. And that's why we, as serious business owners, are building on TikTok, why you are building on TikTok. And I'm very excited to see how this is going to shape up for you as you go along. So I have a question for you. Well, I have several. What was your biggest takeaway, the biggest takeaway that you got from the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp? As I said, you joined cohort 2, and thank you for your testimonial. It was absolutely wonderful. But let's just talk to those who are watching. What was your biggest takeaway from the bootcamp?
My biggest takeaway was how to structure a live. It seems quite easy when you watch other people do it, but the structure that we got taught during the bootcamp, the penny just dropped. I mean, it was like, this is amazing. And when I'm actually watching other lives, I'm thinking, oh, what are you going to say to these people that have come into the room now? Or what's your call to action? I mean, that something so simple like that. But another thing that I really learned was that it's more about the quality of people that are following you or that are joining your lives. And it's not about the quantity. So when you do join TikTok lives, I was getting very nervous because maybe only 1 or 2 people were showing up. And to me, that was a fail. That was, this isn't going right. But one of the things that I learned from the cohort with working with my peers that were there as well is that we've got one person, and I follow their live quite regularly, and they always have 1 or 2 people show up. But the quality of those viewers is their niche, is their clientele, and thinking that you need 20, 50, 100, 1,000 people in your life for you to be able to find your clients, it doesn't work like that. So I've had a mindset shift, and that was a big thing that I took away, is that go into the live with what you have to share and offer and what you can give to people, and don't look for others to give something back to you. Don't look at it as in how many likes can I get, how many coins can I get, because when you're going in the business way, that's not what you're looking for when you're working with TikTok.
Absolutely. I love that. And you mentioned about the structure of the lives, and thank you to those who have jumped into today's live stream. Good morning and God bless. Priscilla is part of cohort 3, which is starting in the next just under 2 weeks time. It is good to see you, Priscilla. Please feel free to share the live out. I'm here with Yasmine. We're just chatting it up about her experience on cohort 2. And you mentioned, Yasmine, that it was the structure of the lives that really kind of was one of the biggest takeaways for you? And I think that when people hear structure, they think, oh yeah, how to start your live, what to say, and then your call to action, which is parts of it. But when we're talking about TikTok and understanding the follower to buyer journey, because we go into that in great depth in Talk Like a Boss in the bootcamp, but it's understanding, because of the way the platform is set up, you're constantly being exposed to new audiences. You need to know how to meet and connect with people at the various stages of the journey that they are on. So one of the things that I will say is that, again, we love the fact that TikTok gives us so much organic reach. We get exposure to new audiences every single day, but you have to know how to reach them. You have to know how to speak to them so they go from being cold to warm and to hot. And I think that as well has been something that I've seen all of you that were on cohort 2 really get to grips with and understand, and you're starting to apply it. So I'm very excited about that. Anything that you want to say on that side of things? Oh, Yasmine, are you there? Are we frozen? Oh, you're there. Yasmine was so listening to me so intensely. She was like, what was that?
I was trying to focus on the camera.
Yes, focus on the camera. Priscilla said, nice to know. All right, we will segue. You're good, my dear. No problem. So I want to ask you, how has the bootcamp impacted your approach to going live? I think we're kind of segueing nicely from question to question. So the last one was the biggest takeaway, but what about the impact that the bootcamp has had for you? Talk Like a Boss. Thank you.
I mean, I was really, really nervous. So I did give it a go last year, and I was going from live to live, but I was literally reading a script. I was so nervous, but now I'm a lot more confident. And like I said before, it's not about just going live and having loads of people within the room. It's having that confidence just to keep going, because what I've learned, what I didn't realize, is that we've got the hallway, like you always say, and people are watching before people even come in. And I never even knew that. And I am someone that watches on the hallway now that I know it's a thing, before you even click in. So yeah, I'm a lot more confident going forward, and it has made me see my business in a different light when it comes to TikTok as well.
Love that. The impact is the seeing your business in a different light, and obviously learning how you can strategically use TikTok to even do research with lives. You don't even have to enter in. There are a whole load of audience. There's a whole audience that are watching you, that are scrolling the FYP. They can see everything and consume the information without committing to clicking in. So it's about also, how do you talk to those individuals? How do you win the click as well? So we go through all of that in the bootcamp. So can I ask you if you can share a memorable moment or success story since joining the bootcamp? Obviously, your success stories that you're doing top mastery now. Let me just jump in. So I'm excited to work with you on that. But yeah, do share with us a success story or a memorable moment for you. Because I'm going to say something. I felt like at the beginning of the bootcamp, you were a little bit nervous about doing some of the visual tasks. We won't get into what those are, i.e., video or some of the things, or going live. But you stepped into it. I saw you step up and step into it and start showing up and being a lot more visible. But for yourself, in your own words, what about your own personal memorable moment or success story since doing the bootcamp?
Yeah, I completely agree with what you say. When I joined, I just thought it would just teach us how to use TikTok, and that was it. But within the bootcamp, there are a lot of practical tasks that we can get on with to help us practice. And I wasn't expecting that. So one of the most memorable parts for me was actually going live to do one of the tasks. And I actually went live, and I thought, let me just go live so I can say I've gone live. I can post it in the group that I went live. But it was such a great experience for me, because people joined my live, people engaged with me. I stayed on a lot longer than I had expected, and I was doing a task, and I got to repeat that task quite a few times. And someone actually reached out to me after that, and that wasn't even a live that I had intended to take part in. I just did it, I'll be completely honest, just so I could get you off my back.
And so because I know she's watching. I'm watching. My BB eyes are going to pop up. or you might not think I popped up, and then I'm like, well, actually, where were you? What were we doing? You know, I'm like,
that's another thing that I loved about the boot camp is the support that you gave us. So within the cohort, we all shared our social media, our TikTok, and we all sort of said when we were going to go live, and we all showed up for each other. But one of the things I absolutely loved is that you showed up to everybody's live and you gave us feedback and you gave us support. And to me, that just sort of just shows the quality that we get within the boot camp. And I saw that and I just thought that's just amazing. You know, I'm going in to support my peer because I know what they're going through. But to see you show up, it really did make a big difference to all of us. I know it did. So.
Oh, thank you so much. And at the end of the day, I think we have to be what we're saying, right? We need to be that example. And if we are showing up as leaders, we have to show that we've done the thing, and that we're there for our people. So I'm so glad that I was able to be there for you. And that doesn't change. You know, Priscilla, who's watching in the chat, you're going to meet Priscilla. Priscilla's worked with me across different courses and programs as well. And she'll probably attest and say the same thing. That's one of my core values. And I hope that imparts to every single one of you and just helps you to show up more confidently. And I think that that's what has happened. So thank you, which leads into the next question about community support, darling. So let me be serious. So you've mentioned about the community. So I'll just let you kind of elaborate a little bit more in terms of the support from your comrades, the other delegates that were on the bootcamp. How did that help you with your journey?
I mean, when we all joined, technically we were all in the same boat. Everybody was nervous of going live. There was one particular person that was in the group, and I'm absolutely amazed at just how far they've come. They go live quite regularly now and they're very confident. And what I enjoyed about the community is that we were all there for the same thing. So when you're looking to do something, you want to be around like-minded people that are there to support what you're doing because they need your support as well. And it was always, you know, taken to the messenger. Okay, when are you going to go live? Oh, I'm going to go live at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Okay, I can jump on, or I can't jump on. Okay, what about on Wednesday? So the community itself made a big difference. And it's all about helping you with your mindset as well, because when you're working with someone that knows what they're talking about, if I'm saying, oh, you know, I'm so nervous to go live. I mean, you've gone live thousands and thousands of times. So I don't know if you would remember how I feel now, because you've got all that confidence. But to work with somebody within that community that knows exactly what I'm going through, and that will, I mean, you would get a voice message before your live to kind of hype you up from one of your peers, and that makes a big difference. So that's what I really loved. And I made friends as well. So even though the cohort has finished, we still speak now, and that's what's nice.
Absolutely love that. And I love that you also embodied the community spirit, because I saw you showing up on everyone's live and not just showing up for a couple of seconds and going straight out the door. You were there and you were staying in the live and you were encouraging and you were interacting fully as if you were, you know, a regular audience member. And that speaks volume. And I talk so much about, like you said, mindset, but reciprocity. We need to pay it forward, because if we want people to show up for us, we have to show up for other people. And the fact that you're showing up, you are a mother, you are a business owner, right? You are building and taking care of family as well. So the fact that you're still showing up, that is just the signs of a leader, a true leader. And it's been such an honor and such a privilege to work with you. We're not done as yet. So the next question I'm going to say, I'm going to continue to work with you. I've got that honor and privilege, which I'm very happy about. The next question I have for you is, well, let's talk about the boot camp. So there are those that are sitting on the fence. Should I, shouldn't I? What advice would you give to someone who is considering joining the next cohort of the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp? Yasmine, what would you say to them? Fully honest.
I mean, to me, if you're considering something, you need it, just go for it. And that's what I did. I needed this. And when the opportunity came up, I just went for it. I didn't second guess myself. I didn't think twice about it. And I think if you're serious about going into business or taking that next step within your business, you do need to invest. You do need to invest in yourself. And it took me a long time to get to that position to understand. And there's something that you mentioned and you said something about, you know, cohort 1 was there, and but then cohort 2 came and you had to do the same thing again. So for me, I know that if I didn't join cohort 2, I would have most probably joined cohort 3, and vice versa. So just go for it. I mean, there's nothing that you will lose out on, because there's so much for you to gain in knowledge, and skills as well, just by taking part in the boot camp. And even if you are considering whether you should do it or not, just go for it, because then you can then decide if TikTok is that platform for you afterwards.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, absolutely 100% it is. And, you know, everything that I'm teaching in the bootcamp, it's not anything that's plucked out of thin air. It's what I've actually gone through myself, because I was that person, as most of us were at the beginning. TikTok? No. I said I'm a serious business owner. I'm not going on there to dance and point. I refuse to do it. And we've seen how quickly this platform has been cutting through as a leader amongst what's going on social media. That, you know, there are so many updates and features that I found that I'll talk about off of this live stream, but people need to really start taking TikTok seriously, because it is a serious contender for a lot of the platforms that are out there. And I think what's going to happen for those who don't, and I'm not even talking about the boot camp, but for those who don't jump onto TikTok and they're holding back, this is the time to do it now, whilst we still get so much organic reach. And it is changing, but there is no platform that you can go on that every single day you go live or you post content and it's going to new audiences who don't yet know you. And if you're optimizing and you're doing all the things, your content is going to be categorized to reach people who are searching for your content. It's absolutely phenomenal. And so I definitely am so glad that you saw this vision and you made a decision to invest, because we have to. So I'm going to ask you a question. It's not a question that's that's on the actual lineup, but in terms of working with myself. So you've done ToK Like a Boss, and you said you would do it again and again and again. You said that in your testimonial. Thank you. But you made the decision to join ToK Mastery, and we will come back again and we'll do a follow-up live once you've gone through the process of ToK Mastery. But I guess what I'm asking, for those who may be questioning whether or not they should work with me, or, you know, whether this is right for them or me as a coach, how was your experience? And be fully honest, I've got broad shoulders, I can take it. Baz has already said, I'm going to send you a voice note, even though he sent me such lovely feedback, because I went to, I was like, oh, what was I going to say? But yeah, what has been your experience, and why did you make the decision to continue working with me, moving from ToK Like a Boss to ToK Mastery, the one-to-one program? Thank you.
Well, you know what you're talking about. So when I did the boot camp, I would say I did a little bit, because it is something that you can continue to do, but just a little snippet of what I did worked, and it's working. And for me to take my business to the next level, I just wanted that one-to-one support, accountability, to tailor what I had learned just for me. So we've learned so much on the boot camp in terms of business strategy. I mean, I will be honest, I've got bigger plans than what I had initially had for my business. So you taught us how we can monetize the TikTok community itself. And that's not something that I thought about when I was going into the boot camp. It was just, how can I get my name out there? How can I post videos or content that people will see and it will reach my niche, so that I can speak to them and convert them on another platform? But you've taught us how to do that all on one platform. And my biggest takeaway was that I sat down and I looked at my business and I thought, from what I've learned, this is how I can flip it, and this is what I can do. And when it came towards an end and ToK Mastery came up, it was just like 100% I'm doing it. And even that day when we had the live, I was busy. I had a plumber in my house. I was moving from room to room. I didn't even know ToK Mastery was a thing, but I had known from most probably week 2 that I was like, once this is finished, I'm going to see how we can work together one-to-one going forward. And you are honest, and I love that honesty. I mean, if you have ever worked with a coach in the past, sometimes I feel like they're tailored to want to say things to make you happy or say things to go your way. What I've learned from you is that you're honest. If our ideas are good, they're good. If they're not good, but it gives us that thought. And like I said, I've come out of the boot camp and I've completely changed my business blueprint on what I'm going to do when it comes to TikTok. So that's why I joined. Yeah.
I am very excited for you.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
She's like, oh no.
I'm scared, you know. I don't have the fortune yet, but I need that to go forward, you know.
Oh, bless you. Like, I don't, you guys are like, she doesn't play. She's going to tell you off. Where you see what I'm like on the lives on TikTok, let alone when it's boot camp. And yes, I pride myself on being honest. And here's why. I have to just take it to the Christian streets for a moment. At the end of the day, this business is not my business. This is God's business. I'm stewarding over God's business. I have a responsibility because there's a lot at stake. If I don't do what I've been called to do according to God's standard, then, you know, I'm not doing the right thing. So I'm taking care of business. And part of that is to be honest, but with love, and to make sure that I am taking care of you and moving you out of your own way. And when I say you, it's all of you that work with me one-to-one through the programs. But I have a responsibility to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable and get the very best out of you, so to speak. And as I said, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you're going to do. And the fact that you've mentioned that it's kind of shifted your mindset and how you're actually looking at approaching the blueprint of your business. Because one of the things that we haven't talked about with ToK Mastery, not even ToK Mastery, with ToK Like a Boss, is that you have things that you can take forward that is the business and marketing for TikTok, but you can apply a lot of what I teach to other platforms, to other elements of what you're doing. So, you know, it's kind of a rinse and repeat. So it's good. It's good. And I've seen your progress. And I think the most important thing that I've seen from you, from when we first spoke via DM to where you are now sitting with me, and I look forward to the compare and contrast when we come back to do this at the end of ToK Mastery. But I can see your confidence has gone up like tenfold. I can see it in your face, your demeanor, how you're talking. And I absolutely love that, Yasmine. And long may it continue, and may you continue to build and grow, because it's going to only go up from here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So as we get ready to wrap this up, we've been talking about your experience from doing ToK Like a Boss. And for those of you that are just jumping in halfway through, this is my conversation, ToK Talks, with hormonal health coach and health and wellness coach, Yasmine Loy. I have to get your names. Every single one of you, I've mispronounced your surname, so I'll get it right. I want to ask you, Yasmine, what are your final thoughts? Anything that you want to share? Generally speaking, it's not just about talking like ToK Like a Boss, but for those who may be challenged with their hormonal health, or for those who are at a point in their life where they want some change and they might not know how to start, or they're scared to step out and be more visible. You, as the expert and beautiful woman and coach that you are, what would you like to share? Over to you, my dear. Thank you.
I would like to share from a business perspective. If you have any idea, or you've got something that you can share a story with someone and help somebody, turn it into a business. So being a hormonal health coach isn't something that I thought that I could ever do. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I gave up my professional job to go back and study health while I took on another job. And I think sometimes when we get stuck in the 9 to 5, we just think that's all it is to life. And yes, it can take a few steps to get there, whether you are taking a boot camp course, whether you are looking for someone to help you along the way, but make it your own and share your journey and your success with others around you. And as a mom, as a woman, I think we are not taught the business life the way we should. I think it should be taught in schools. I am very ready to teach my children to go forward. So embrace yourself with like-minded people. Find yourself a community like what we've just done, the camp that we've just been in, so that you can help step forward. And with that, you'll grow your confidence. There's just so much that comes with it. And I've been building this slowly after the last 2 years. But this year, I've just said, I'm going to do it, whatever it takes. And I'm just so happy that I've started off strong. and anybody can do it. You just need to invest in yourself. There's just so much business opportunities out there. I mean, I could go on that forever. I just wish so many more people would do it.
Yes, 100%. You said that beautifully. And I just want to say that I think this is 3 for 3 now. When I've done the final thoughts and I've asked you all, yourself, Paz, and Perpetina, that we've done so far for these interviews, when I've given you the floor to give your final thoughts, you have all flowed. The no ums and ahs. You've done the coffee pot. Very well. And I just hear it coming from you. So thank you so much for sharing. And thank you so much for your time today, Yasmine. We are going to be keeping our eye on you, aren't we? We're going to be looking out for you and for your progress. And yes, I'm going to now put you back into the back end of the studio as we get ready to wrap up. But thank you so much for being here. It's been an honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, guys, you've heard it from hormonal health coach Yasmine here. Make sure that you connect with Yasmine. So, Yasmine, at the end of the live, make sure that you put all the links to how people can connect with you. So, obviously on TikTok, if there's any other social platforms or anything that you want to actually share so people can connect with you, please do so at the end of the live stream. Thank you so much, Yasmine.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, guys, that's it. We have come to the end of the live. Today, we have been talking with Yasmine about her experience of signing up for the ToK Like a Boss bootcamp. Cohort 3 is starting very soon on Monday, the 7th of April. We have some people in the audience today. Priscilla Holmes has signed up for the bootcamp. So we will make sure that we link everything in the comments so that you are able to find out more about this group coaching program. It's a 4-week intensive teaching you the core key fundamentals to grow your business and your brand using TikTok, which is a serious platform for business owners. There is a lot of opportunity for you to be discovered by your ideal clients, build a targeted community that converts to customers. And I'm going to give every single one of you who sign up for the bootcamp the blueprint, using Yasmine's word, the blueprint for success. So if you have any questions about the bootcamp, whether you are watching this on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on YouTube, please drop it into the chat. You can also send me a private DM. With the exception of YouTube, you can't send a private DM, but you can connect with me. All the information is linked in the description. And I look forward to welcoming more of you on cohort 2 of ToK Like a Boss. And there we have Rachel Charles, who was on cohort 1. Thank you for jumping in. Rachel Charles is on cohort 1 of ToK Like a Boss. Hopefully you'll be welcoming Rachel into ToK Mastery soon. And Priscilla said I could have used Yasmine about 10 years ago, but don't worry. Yasmine's going to be taking you, Priscilla, under her wings. Yasmine, I didn't even tell you yet. Yasmine's in the back end. Yasmine, you've got work to do. You guys know how I do. I bring everybody together. I don't just kind of compartmentalize. We all build community across the different cohorts, across the different programs, and we all make things work together. Guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see you all again very soon. Thank you for joining myself and Yasmine. Take care.